Yeah, should I start? All right, guys, ready? Does this work? Right? Yeah, it does work. Well, welcome to our session. Great you could be here. I think I know the answer, but should we keep it in Dutch or in English? English, right?
English for you.
Special.
Special for you.
That's right. It's fine. It's fine. Well, welcome to our session, Smoke in the Golden Image. Small introduction. My name, Edwin O'Brien. I work at ITQ. Over here now, my focus is digital workspace. Anything related to the workspace, do something with that. Active in the vExpert program, vExpert ESC program, and the DEXI program. And I write some blogs at this URL. Please visit.
Yes, I'm Rob de Graaf. I'm a virtualization consultant at ITQ. My main area of expertise is cloud native. I went from the digital workspace to cloud native because I did a lot of automation stuff already.
No problem.
So I left the team. And
you left us.
I left you, and so that's why I'm cloud native now. I also have a bunch of 3 or 4 letter certification, doesn't say much. Also vExpert, and please check out my blog.
All right, a little bit of agenda. Chapter 1, the golden image. Chapter 2, image validation. The image builder, we tie things together. Some load testing and some tick stack. And the question, we're not with a very big group, so if you have any questions in the meantime, just ask them. So, all right. Chapter 1, the golden image.
Yes.
The floor is yours.
Yes. First question, do we have any VDI admins here? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, you not, but 5, 6. Okay, good. Well, I'm just gonna talk a bit about the automation of an image, because as you all know, it's just a cumbersome task to just build a golden image by hand. It just takes a lot of time. You have risk by executing manual adjustments. Lead times are high, undocumented changes, and I can continue with that. That needs to be different. You don't need to do it by hand. So I'm gonna explain a bit how you can do this fully automated with the platform that we are using at the moment. So this we're not gonna do anymore. It's rejected. We're gonna automate the build of the images. Question, does this look familiar to somebody?
Honestly.
Honest answer.
I see someone laughing, yeah. You know it.
So this is I was engaged with the customer, and this is kind of how they keep track of their golden image. This is a way to do it. But as you all know, this is just complete disaster. So you get performance issues and all kind of shit. So also rejected. Really rejected.
Make sure it's rejected.
So what we did at ITQ, we're going to think, what are we gonna build at first? I personally hate this drawing.
What?
I really hate it, but keep it in mind. I'm not going to explain it fully. I'm just going to explain this part. That's just create a VM every time from scratch. So we're not going to do the whole part. The next part is going to do. Edwin is going to do.
Yep.
You will get questions about this later on. So
please remind us entire
Please remember it.
Every detail. No. You just created a flow.
Yeah. What we did at ITQ, we created the ITQ image builder, as we said. We name it, and within this image builder, we have a few components. That's Packer, that's Ansible, and Azure DevOps. Anybody familiar with Packer? A lot. It's good.
A lot of hands.
No, if you are known with Packer, then you know it's an image as code tooling. So with Packer, you can define the whole image as code. With Packer, you can only build the first part and then configure it with some configuration tool. And with that, we for the post configuration we use Ansible, but for that later. No, I'm first gonna show you. Wait. Yeah, so basically what you see here, this is the Packer configuration for just a vanilla installation of Windows. So what you see here, you can define the vSphere specs for this, some CPU specs, and the auto-intended XML. So this auto-intended XML gets mounted when Packer starts. I will show it in the demo later, and then it will make some more sense. And the VM gets created. Well, that's partly what we need. So this is a demo. This is just on my local laptop. This is the same source code that you saw in the presentation. And if I'm gonna start.
Hello.
Yeah.
It's running.
So the source code of Packer. And here you see the Ansible provisioner. But for that later. What I can do now is just run Packer with that HL file, the config file. Start running. You see here. It creates the VMs, customizes some of the hardware, the mount ISO images. It boots up my VM. So it gets completely created from scratch. It's a bit sped up, this part, because it's going to take 20-25 minutes to complete. So we're not going to wait for that.
One way to fill the session.
Yeah. But as you can see here, it's just spun up the VM, and here it stops. After it spun up the VM, SSH gets configured, and that's what Ansible needs to connect later on into the VM to do the configuration. So if we go to Ansible, people familiar? No, yeah.
You don't.
Yeah, the thing is, I'm a bit in dubio because I really hate WinRM because it's just some unstable protocol. And on the other hand, SSH is a more stable protocol, but it's not natively Windows yet. You can get it from an online package, so it works. So I'm currently in the process of evaluating if this is better or not. My personal opinion is better, but also for the use with Ansible, it's still experimental. So you have two choices.
There's a choice.
WinRM, SSH. This is for my home lab, so I use SSH.
But you currently mainly use WinRM.
Yeah. So check. Ansible. Anybody know Ansible? Yeah. A bit. Yeah. Use any platform for it, or just run it from command line, or? Okay. Okay, just AWS for that's the upstream of okay, nice. I'm not going to use that. I'm just going to use the command line tool. So if we take a brief look to the Ansible code, the Ansible code is basically a big wrapper around PowerShell for Windows, and it also supports Linux, of course, and then it's a big wrapper around Bash. With Ansible, you can declarative define actions, so you don't have to do a lot of scripting and stuff. You just say, for example, I want my Horizon agent. This is the path to the exe. The state needs to be present. Now some arguments, and it gets installed. If you want to do this with PowerShell, you get for each loops and whatever kind of mess. So that's why I choose to do it with Ansible, to just have one tool to manage or my Windows OS or my Linux OS or whatever. So get a really, how you call it, standardized platform, standardized way of deploying VMs. So we're back at the demo again. So you see here the connected to SSH. So Packer boots up the VM, waits until he sees that he can connect to SSH. Then Packer knows, hey, my machine is ready. And then Ansible gets kicked off from Packer. And then all the Windows update stuff is going to be installed and takes ages. But also after this phase, all the agents are going to get installed with that Ansible script that you just saw. Here it goes, the Ansible script, FS logic agent, and executing the shutdown command. Packer shuts down the machine, and it's finished. We have a vanilla Windows OS with some Horizon agent in it.
Basic image. Yeah.
And within 28 minutes, 44 seconds. So it's not bad. It's just it's run from Intel NUC. So you can get some performance gain with some better hardware, but I think this is
about 20 minutes.
Yeah.
80 minutes.
Yeah.
NVMe host.
So yeah, that's just the time that Windows needs to install and update. Just the update just takes too long. Okay, cool. Yeah, I can run this from my MacBook now. That's fine. But what if Edwin wants also to build images?
I don't have a MacBook yet. No.
You don't have a MacBook at all?
I don't want a MacBook.
But you want this centralized, so that you can develop with a lot of persons into one image, and you want it trackable. What we did for that is use Azure DevOps, some pipelining tool. We just used the pipelining tool for that. Azure DevOps is a cloud service. So for what you do for Azure DevOps, you deploy an agent on-prem, connects back to Azure DevOps, and is just waiting until it can execute jobs. Is Azure DevOps the only tool that you can use? No, you can use whatever. You can use GitLab, GitHub, Git, whatever. Just as long as it's a Git repository with an option to run pipelines. Because Packer, Ansible are just command line tools. You don't need any installer, just 2 binaries, that's it. Now we have the same code again, same Packer code, but now everything is uploaded into Azure DevOps. So this is my Azure DevOps repository with all the files that I need to build my image. So now it's already more centralized than locally on my laptop. And I can track all the changes that have been done. Now I just changed it myself. But for example, if Edwin changes the memory, I see it here also. So fully trackable. I know what's going on. Then what you can do in Azure DevOps is create pipelines. So instead of installing Packer on my MacBook, I do it on my pipeline. In the pipeline, you can put some variables, and then basically the same code gets run from Azure DevOps on my agent. And this is the video, I think. Yeah. So what I can do now is just create some simple pipeline. I say queue, I say run. My job gets queued, so this jobs the agent on-prem picks up and just gets executed. So now you see here, my code gets checked out, Packer is being installed, initialized, validated. And the Windows VM is going to be built. And the awesome thing about, for example, Packer, is that you not only can do this for Windows, but also for any Linux OS, whatever. Just boot the vanilla OS, you install the stuff, and then you continue. So you don't have Ansible Tower for Linux, you don't have MDT for Windows, it's just one tool set. That's it. That's it, yeah. But are we still there? Are we there yet? No, we just have a vanilla, well, not a vanilla, it's the agents are installed, but we just have an OS now with some applications installed. But we still have to deal with end users.
Something with end users. Always.
And for that, Edwin has a solution.
Something for that. All right.
It works.
Yeah,
it works
too. It works. The validation. All right. Here we go. The trouble with image validation. Who has a validation procedure, like running an image in acceptance environment, and then go to test and then go to production, or just wing it, just do production?
Yeah. Good.
Just do it. Believe in yourself.
Yeah.
Just do it. All right. I'm mainly active in healthcare and hospitals, so that's actually not an option when that happens. When you push an image and it fails, actual departments could close down, and that has an impact on healthcare. So that was not an option. So image validation is a very strict process in those customers. If they don't do it, yeah, just a line up, you can read it, but exactly the same as the building the image. Mainly the risks, right? I just explained it. When the image is not good, it has an impact on the healthcare department or any other customers, right? The lead time for changes is high, because what happens is an image is created, manually created, if not done by the way Rob does it. Something fails, you have to build it again, and then push it again and test it again. So I have a customer that is at a hospital that has a validation process that takes 6 weeks for an image just to go from acceptance to production. So imagine when something happens at the 5th week, something fails and the whole process starts over again. And what the risk is of doing that, also critical updates don't get through. So we had to do something about it. Like that. Just a little picture I borrowed from someone of VMware. Show you what's happening. These are all the updates from some common use applications in 1 year. So if you keep a very strict validation process, you should validate all those updates over and over again. I'm not going to do that, but you should do that. These are just the common use applications. The department I work, I see sometimes customers with over 500 applications. So all have to validate all those applications again and again. So not going to do that. We're going to do it automated. We call it smoke testing before we push the image through. How are we going to do that? We're going to use LoginVSI. People use LoginVSI, known with LoginVSI? No?
Good.
What? No, it really is. Really cool product, especially designed to validate those images. You can also do load testing with, but I'm going to zoom into that. So how does it work? VSI, it works with the components. We have a central appliance that holds all the configuration and can start the load test. It of course has a database. We have to store something in it, right? All the configuration and the results of the testing. We have a launcher. Of the launcher, we have the VDI. And in the VDI, we start an agent. So that's just the main layout of the product. Relatively easy. Also, fun fact, those launchers, we start them most of the time virtual. We can also use them physical, even ITIL supported natively. So imagine when you have some launcher around in the office building, or you get complaints from another side of a building, especially the building, you can start tests from that physical location. Really cool. All right. LoginVSI offers 3 tests, the continuous test. It's a virtual user going to log in 24/7, and it's going to report when something don't work. Especially powerful when you want to get reported on changes not related to the image. Think about when something changes in the database of the application and your application fails. As usual, we as VDI admins are to be blamed, but could be something in the back end. Right? The application test, we're going to use that, so I'm not going to explain that. I'm going to zoom into that in a minute. And the load test, we're going to do the same test, but we can scale it up. Think about 1,000 users, 2,000 users, all doing their work. So I'm going to use the application test. So I have the components. How does it work together? I have the appliance. The appliance sends a command to the launcher. Once again, it could be virtual, could be physical. That launcher is going to start a session to the VDI. This looks relatively simple, but it's actually important, because what this does, it also tests your entire broking process. It validates your load balancers. It validates the fact that your user profile solution works. Everything in between, not just the VDI, everything in between works. It's going to start the agent. The agent is going to start the test, running applications, doing anything like that. And send the reports to the appliance. And the appliance is going to send a report after the test is finished to the admin. All done automatically. This is an example of a report after the test is finished. We can see those are the applications defined in the test. we know in this case that all the office works. This is a knowledge work with basic workload, so of course I use that to make myself a little bit easy, but we have a lot more applications, you can also include that. But what it also does is send you screenshots. And that's actually cool. Because in this example, I send screenshots of every successful application. Imagine if you have 500 applications, you don't want 500 screenshots, you just want the screenshots of the failures. But the powerful thing about that is that you get the error once an application fails. Like database connection unavailable or ODBC not configured right. Think about something like that, so you can immediately fix it. So, this got us thinking. Rob has an awesome thing. I like LoginVSI. Let's combine them together. Can I build an image automatically? Can I test it automatically? And automate the entire street. So, once again, there it is. Let's add something to it in the process. And I'm going to show you a little video now what actually happens. Sorry, we don't have big speakers here.
No.
It's really fun.
Oh, did you leave this one in now? Yeah.
Of course I did.
Yeah.
Of course you did. So, what actually happens, we know the image can get built. So we add the last pipeline. We're going to push the image and we're going to start the load test. On top left, you see the launcher. That's the virtual machine that's going to start the session. Top low, on the low here. That's my email box, just waiting to get the finished report.
So this is just one step more in the pipeline we just created.
Yeah.
And
an additional step on
what
it.
Yeah, what it does now, it doesn't push to Horizon and starts up the desktop.
Yeah. So the user login. The video is speeded up because this process takes about 45 minutes. So speed it up. So it's using actual user perspective. It's actually filling in things in documents. It's opening PowerPoint. It's editing files, and it measures all those response times. So when something happens about that, you also get a report. It's finished. There's my report in the mailbox. So, there it is. That's finished. It's successful. So I can push this image or pass this image to production. And I know all these applications, they just work. They're validated. And there it is. All right. So, the power of combining these two. Build the image completely automatically. What Rob just showed us. No manual intervention. Validate the image completely automatically. And more important, don't. When you have a strict acceptance procedure, don't ask users to test that. No, just you know the image is right when you pass it on. The quality will go up. The image is created automatically, the same every time, right? So no manual intervention, no manual adding register keys or doing something like that. It's all done automatically. And more important for us, reducing workload. I'll do it automatically. And at the end of the day, you're going home like this, you release another image. Who doesn't want that? All those users waiting at the door when you leave. No, that's not going to happen. As usual, they don't know us. Doesn't matter. All right. So, no, most of them are unknown, as they should be. All right. And chapter 4, load testing. I guess the comic says it all. Whoever witnessed this, right? Rob just did it in his session, in this part. He just went up from the vCPUs from 2 to 4. Yeah, I'm going to test it. Oh, it's fine. I just have one VDI. It works fine. And then deploy it en masse. And then something hits the fan when it's done. So I'm going to go with that. So how to mitigate that, right? We're going to load test and start measuring. That's the way to do that, to keep it under control. So what do I want to measure, right? I have bare metal running. On top of that, I have the hypervisor running. On top of that, I have some virtual OS running, mainly Windows, Rob, not Mac, Windows, Linux. And on top of that, the applications. I need some users to test the environment. I have the workspace team getting ready, the real superheroes, and some server storage team. The end users are mainly focusing on applications. That's what they need, right? They don't care about. No, that doesn't work. They don't care about bare metal. They just want their applications to run. So, the workspace team, they will mainly focus. Not every workspace team I encounter, but they mainly focus on application in virtual OS. When some performance issue hits, they will take a look at that. And the server and storage team mainly will look at the virtualization layer and maybe the bare metal layer. Then we need someone to chase those users to start testing. What I said before, I'm going to load test with 1,000 users. So how are you going to organize this? You have to get 1,000 users ready to log into the system at the same time doing their workload. So that's not realistic. That's not realistic. And it's chasing, huh? Get those users. So get those guy out, get the end users out, get back to work, make some money so we get paid. And we're going to invite our big friend here, the smoke tester. Who else? The Snoop Dogg, right? And we're going to implement some robots to do the testing for us. And we can scale this up. 10, 20,000, 2,000, 5,000, 10,000, doesn't matter. It depends on your license. The smoke tester will focus on the end users. Oh. But then we're going to run into the next problem. The data, it's everywhere. We have performance counters everywhere. For example, we have the horizon events. I want to take a look at what's happening with the provisioning process, right? We're looking at the VSI console. It has beautiful reports in it, but it's focused on the end user. So it's all about how fast my application starts, does it start, and all the response times and that. And maybe some Windows performance counters inside the VDI. I want to know their data. The vSphere performance counters. What's happening to my CPU ready, my memory consumption. And maybe you just want to know the temperatures of your host or the power consumptions if you're into that. And I see this happening. It's your problem. It's yours. Your temperature's too high. That's why my CPU ready is going up. Your application doesn't work. And let's point to each other. So we started to think, what if we just add one dashboard in front of all of these layers and make everyone look at the same layers? How does this look? Is it a demo? Not yet. How I'm going to capture those performance counts? Because I got them. I'm going to use Telegraph. Anyone familiar with Telegraph? No? Yeah? You do? Right. It's an open source agent just actually designed to capture IoT measurements and all those performance counters and everything in it. So really good for this job. And I'm going to save it to an influx database. Familiar with that? Maybe? Yeah. I see this a lot with people doing home automation. They use this a lot. So Home Assistant, when you install it, you can use that. So I can capture the Windows performance counters, vSphere metrics, ESR metrics, and the IPMI sensors just with Telegraph and put it in an influx database. The horizon events and the looking enterprise results, well, they are actually already stored in SQL Server. So I could do two things. I could use Telegraph to grab it from SQL Server and drop it into Influx. But for the visualization, I'm going to use Grafana, and the power of Grafana is that it can connect to multiple data sources. So I can just connect natively to Influx, and hey, it's already in SQL. So let's connect to that and use that data. How does this look? I'm going to start a load test here, and you can see the data come in. I think it's really cool, really colorful. Oh, no music in this one.
No, forgot it.
That's fine.
No, too bad.
So. Is it running? No. Oh, no. Hello? Are you there? No, I just
Forgot it. Yeah.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah, look at it. So I define the load test. So look in enterprise console. Hello. It's not just Windows, bro.
No.
It's actually freezing. Yeah. Just doesn't run, I guess.
It's not automated, too bad.
This part is not automated. I don't know what's happening. Don't touch it again? It's running? No. All right. Let's see if we can do it again. There's something with the session, I guess. Or was it technical difficulties? Yeah, there it goes. It just freezes up, right? Every click I get 2 seconds of video. Yeah, that's a shame. Well, nah, it doesn't work, I guess. Nah, let's skip this part. Maybe it keeps playing. I have to explain it. It isn't the same awesomeness, but all right. What would happen is that we could see the session start here. I have 2 virtual launchers. I would start the sessions here. I guess about 60 users are going to log in. And we could see the data coming in into Grafana live right here. And the next one is also a video. So I'm not concerned of what's happening right now.
Froze.
Froze again, eh? All right. Yeah. I didn't pray hard enough.
No.
All right. What are we looking at? Top here. This was what is it? We look live in the Horizon event database. You can see the events from that. Top right, directly into the VSI events. Normally, I would have to use 2 events of 2 consoles to see those events related to each other. Some performance counters about that, and some data coming in from the appliance and visualized. What we actually see here, the blue line is the number of sessions going up. The yellow line is the user experience. And the cool thing is, what you can actually see here is that when the session go up, the first 5, 6, they're just fine. And after that, the UX starts dropping. It's still okay, I guess. It's something about a 7, a 6. It goes up and down. And here I hit the VSI max. So actually the counters in VSI calculated that your number of sessions you should host on a machine is somewhere around, if not readable, it's around 47 on this particular host. So I'm gonna see if I can do this. If we show something later, yeah, it freezes again, doesn't matter. The cool thing is, because I got all this data coming in now, I got VSI data, performance data, I also got this from the vSphere host. This is actually CPU ready of this particular host. So what you can see is that the EUX is dropping because my CPU ready is going up. What I actually did is what Rob showed in the beginning. I was added additional vCPUs and to see what's happening. All right, I can zoom into that. I guess it's CPU ready about 9 seconds. So it was actually slow. It was really slow. I was pushing the host to its max. But it's not all the data in. I can zoom in. Oh, the beautiful of Grafana is that if I zoom in on a graph, all the data sources, they scale with it. So they all have the same time window. So all the data is related. All the queries in it will do that. All right. So there's some more data in it. I'm not going to zoom in on all of that. So. It's actually a beautiful one. What I'll actually show here is that these color lines are the number of gigahertz the virtual machines are asking, but stacked together. The yellow line is what my host can actually deliver. So we can see the problem here. I need more gigahertz to do this, to fix this. Oh, it starts working again. That's beautiful. What you can see here, my turbo mode is going away because I have nothing to spare, nothing idle. All my cores are actually busy. My hypervisor memory is to its max, nothing to spare. The power consumption of the host stays relatively the same because I set this host to high performance mode. I'm building another session about that, but you can do some fun things with that. But the beautiful part is that all this data are coming from different sources, but you can all see it at one time, all in the same relationship to each other. So you can identify the problem relatively quick. Yeah. So, see if this will work. Yeah, it's just going to do it again. Maybe. All right. So what makes this powerful? Login Enterprise, I can simulate actual load on the environment without bothering users. I can do it myself whenever I need it. one dashboard to relate all the data together. I just added some data source I think is important, but when you have another data source, just add it, write valid queries, and the data will come in. Visualize what you need. I think this was important to me, so I added that data. And it's a shame that the video didn't work, but you can watch this data live. So when the data is coming in, during a test, you can see it live. So, any questions about all of this?
Yeah.
Why are you keeping them so small? Because from what I saw, every month that it's like the time that adds is a lot. So when you say I built in 28 minutes, I sometimes see 30 minutes just for the Windows updates.
Yeah, it depends. That's I cannot say this month it's 20 and that's 30, but
You're just using the standard Ansible.
yeah, just a standard Ansible module to install. So Packer also has some standard module to install the updates. But I use the Ansible thing, and I exclude some updates for like example the VMware updates, because I don't want my what's it called, the NIC driver updated and that kind of stuff. But nowadays Windows doesn't stack their updates, so every month you get a new, how you call it, I don't know, you know it, the cumulative update stuff. So we take 20 to 30 minutes. But the beauty of this is you can just schedule it every month and just let it run at night, because I don't have to put on start. I can just put a schedule, like run it at night and just be done with it. And then next morning you come in, it's like, hey, it's done.
And the image is even validated.
Yeah. And it's even validated. And also what we did in Azure DevOps is not only create the image, but also push the image to Horizon via REST API calls. So desktop gets started, and then the VSI part picks up and goes testing the image.
We can even do, when the image is validated and it's all, the test went right, we can push it to production. When you really believe in yourself, just do it.
Yeah, for example, with that image validation, you don't push it directly to a production, but you do it to your expectation pool or whatever. And then after, and you just...
just wing it.
Yeah.
Right.
For your testing, you use a launcher. That's what I
Yeah.
It's mean if I want to test with, for example, 20 users, I need 20 VDIs at the end?
No. One launcher can facilitate around 30 sessions, so you have to scale up with that. So.
You can test all kind of application, because I saw a lot of enterprise application are very common.
Yeah, you can learn in any application. Yeah.
How can we set it up? It's you have a GUI or something like that?
Yeah.
For example, I want to test a web application, for example.
Yeah, you can do that. I'm you're not in the Netherlands, right? There's a VUC Tech Gun. I'm going to show something about Prince of Persia, loading Prince of Persia. We're going to do that. You can simulate everything you want. You can click, key presses, and it's done in a scripting language. So we left it out of this presentation because I would need 2 sessions to do that. But you can learn essentially all applications. Yeah. But yeah. And that's the beauty of it. You just take your testing process, your validation process. What do your users do to validate the image? You ask them to come over, explain that to you. You learn it in, and then you say, and go back to work. And I call you when something fails. So.
Yeah, and I think your functional application people are going to get happy also, because they don't have to go to start. Just the basic test is there.
Again and again and again. And the risk in that is we're people, right? You're busy. Can you test that image for me?
Yeah, sure. It works.
Did it work? Yeah. It didn't work. And then something hits the fan again. You can prevent that, because this test, once you get a test to validate the image, you can also run the same test in your continuous test 24/7. Or you can use the test in your load test when you want to see that. So, really powerful.
So how long have you been busy with the Grafana dashboard?
To work on that. Yeah, it's kind of a hobby of mine. So,
Okay.
like this. It was quite alright. Once you get one, those are all queries behind this, right? And when you get one of them, you just have to change the table you're looking in. So once you get one query right, you can just copy paste it and go on. Just change the color because I like a lot of colors. But if you like it all black, you can do it all black. That doesn't matter. This one was quite of a jiffy because this was a SQL. LoginVSI, the data is not very structured in the database, so I had to cross-reference and join tables. I had to ask a friend of mine who's a data scientist to please help. I'm stuck. But he helped me with that.
Okay.
The sources between those, the graphs below about the performance counts, the Telegraph, Jorge de la Cruz. I don't know if you know him, but he has a lot of predefined graphs and queries and Telegraphs configurations. So you can use a great source to look at when you want to start working with this. But yeah, it's actually cool, really powerful. I even have my entire home into this, so I can see my power consumption to my car charging and everything like that, and steer onto that and get alerts. And my wife says, like, "You're crazy. Why do you do that?" Because I like graphs.
Yeah.
It tells you a lot. So.
Do you use the LoginVSI for testing and active monitoring as well?
Yeah. Yeah. That's a continuous test, right? That's a 24/7. So when that login fails, I can trigger something, get an email, trigger a ticket or something like that. So yeah, you get immediately performed when an application fails, or when a login fails.
Also, like you have 50 VDI sessions, you monitor these as well.
No. What actually happens is a virtual user is logging in. So it's going to start one session in your production pool, for example, and then every 15 minutes or 5 minutes, whatever you configure, and it's going to do the test you configure, starting all those applications and measuring the performance. And when something fails in that test, it gets reported to you.
So if the general performance is dropping, you will see it, but not because of an actual user session.
No, the simulated user will, that data will be reported. Right. Yeah, got it? No more questions?
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.